UncleTom.com. It rhymes. That's why he did it, by the way. He asked me, we discussed the possible name. And
I have more soul than I could control.
There you go. You see, he thinks in rhymes.
That's right.
He wrote the original rap melody, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's not well known.
I was one of the original Sugar Hill Gang. Weren't they called that? Sugar Hill Gang? The one that did the...
Yes, according to Sean, yes. By the way, Sean is black. I don't know why you're laughing. That is so wrong.
Larry King told me, honestly, that his kids want to be black. And that's the other thing about all of this stuff. Kids like black music,
right.
Black culture,
no, please.
Whatever that is.
You know my son David. I asked David when he was 8. I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, black. That's exactly right. The only pictures in his room were black guys because they had the Lakers. He was a big Laker fan.
And you know that tests have been shown for decades that black people have higher self-esteem than white people.
Yeah.
And much higher self-esteem than Asian.
I'll tell you, if that's true, it's a little confusing. I am a victim with high self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let me take your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago, Patrick, thank you for calling.
Hey, I just got something that's kind of stuck in my craw about what Mr. Elder said when he first came on, about how can a police officer know that a person is black before they pull them over. And I got 3 ways a police officer can know a person's culture before pulling them over. And the first one is that if they're patrolling a black community, there's a 99% chance that the person they're pulling over is black.
Mm-hmm.
And my second one is that black people, they fix their cars up different than white people. So when you go out into a white suburb, there's police officers that can say there's an 80% chance that person is black.
Can you give me an example? Black. I'm not the first one made sense to me. So tell me.
A person, most young black people, they put aftermarket accessories on their car. So they may have rims that are 20 inches, 22 inches, and they're chrome and they shine. They may have
okay, all right, I got it. All right, what's the third
So,
way a policeman could know who the color of the driver?
Well, simply, this happened to me, and I'm 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I went out to the suburbs to visit my friend, and he has a white girlfriend. And it was late, and I was leaving to go driving down the street, dark street, to the highway, and a police officer got behind me, just very close. The lights were in my rearview mirror, and he stayed on me all the way until I got right up to the expressway, and he pulled me over and said, "What are you doing around here?" Now,
okay,
he
all
had
right,
to
all right.
run my plates.
I got you. All right, I got you. And only because of time, I want Larry to respond.
Are you still on?
Yeah, but I put him on hold.
Okay. I wanted to know what his conclusion was. So therefore, what you assume that?
Okay, good. So
that all officers
my
pull over.
My conclusion is, Mr. Elder, how can you not know this?
How can I not know what?
Statement that you made.
That police are more likely to pull blacks over.
Because they can identify the black people's cars by their accessory, and therefore they have an idea that it's a black person, and that's why the person got pulled over? Okay. Well, it's not like these things have not been studied and studied and studied. And that's what gets me about these kinds of debates. In 2013, during the Obama administration, the National Institutes of Justice, which is the research arm of the DOJ, put out a study called Race and Traffic Stops. 75% of black motorists admitted that when they were pulled over for legitimate reasons. And it turned out you name the offense, whether it's speeding, driving without a license, driving without a headlight, driving with a expired tag, you name the offense, a black motorist was more likely to commit it than other motorists. And therefore, the NIJ concluded that the disproportionate reasons that blacks were pulled over was due to, quote, legitimate factors, end of quote. Secondly, about not being able to tell whether that person is black or being able to tell whether the person is black. Let's take the allegation that was made against New Jersey state troopers years ago when Christy Todd Whitman was governor of New Jersey. People were accusing the troopers of disproportionately pulling over black motorists on the New Jersey Turnpike. So she ordered a study. And it turned out that, according to the researchers, the officers could not tell the race of the people who were in the cars because they were going so fast. Because of in the daytime, the sun would reflect off the windows. At nighttime, forget about it, you couldn't tell anyway. And so the researchers concluded that there was no evidence whatsoever that there was a disproportionate pulling over of black motorists because of racism. She didn't like the study. She threw it out. Asked for different people, used different methodology, same conclusion, different methodology. These officers were not pulling over people because they were black. Turns out the faster the car went, the more likely it was to be a black driver. I don't know why. I'm just telling you what the facts are. And that study too was thrown out. So she didn't like the results twice. And again, instead of this being good news, instead of being happy about this, instead of maybe putting on some PSAs urging black motorists to slow down, the conclusion is, well, it must be there. We just couldn't find it. Honestly.
I'll even go a step further, and I may be wrong. But in light of my understanding about how difficult life could be, and how otherwise this is a land of opportunity for anyone of any color, let's say it were true. There are cops who will stop black drivers sooner than other drivers. I really do believe that I would say, big deal. If that's all I suffer, essentially, in America, because I'm black or because I'm whatever, it's not right. But you know what? In the scheme of things, I'm very lucky to be here.
Well, it's why people don't leave the country. Because however you feel unfairly treated, black people stay in America. Dennis, years ago...
All right, hold on. We got to take a break. I wanted to remind everybody, UncleTom.com. It rhymes. It's perfect.